Georgina, thank you for participating in that simulation. Whilst this is a summative assessment, I want you to know that we do a summative assessment to track progress and work together towards you being confident and competent for your formative assessment. The feedback aims to support you to be the best you can be. I know that you're intelligent, capable, wanting to do your best, and that you want to improve, and I want this feedback to help you achieve our intended learning outcomes. This conversation will stay between us, and I want you to know that your input to this discussion is encouraged. Please feel free to ask me questions, correct me, or interrupt me if you feel as though I am misunderstanding the intent of what you say. Thank you. How are you feeling after supervising Maddie? A bit overwhelmed. I've never really put much thought into how I supervise a student, but this has made me really think about how I supervise and assess students in a good way. That's really great to hear that it's made you reflect on previous encounters with students. It's also really normal to feel overwhelmed, but there are so many things you did well. What do you feel like went well? Early on, I worked well with Maddie to identify her learning needs. I haven't ever thought about what the student might want to achieve, more so what I thought they should achieve. Yes, you did do that well. You also did a great job of prompting Maddie to look at the assessment tool prior to performing the skill. Why did you do this? Oh, thanks. I did this to ensure that Maddie and I knew exactly what I was going to assess her on. It's also a really good prompt for me to know what Maddie needs to achieve. Yeah, it is. Oh, one thing I did forget though was to go through the Bondi scale with Maddie prior to assessing her. Why do you think you forgot this? I think I just assumed that Maddie knew how I'd be assessing her because these assessments are so common. But for the purposes of demonstrating my knowledge and to push myself, I should have asked. That's okay, that's something to reflect on for next time. And it's great that you've identified this yourself. Yeah, that's definitely something I won't forget next time. What are some other things that went well? Well, when Maddie said she'd never communicated concerns to the anaesthetist before and said the midwife she worked with always did that for her, I later provided her with some education on how to do that. That's fantastic. You've identified a knowledge gap and assisted the student to learn. Yeah. Is there anything else you'd change? In relation to Maddie contacting the anaesthetist, I could see that you were assessing her ability to escalate and consult as stated in the assessment criteria. This was fantastic, but you didn't show the same attention to task completeness for Maddie when she said she'd access the policy. Why do you think this is? Ah, I didn't even think about that. That's not something I'd ever thought about with a student, but it's so important for demonstrating capability and accountability for practice. Yeah, it is. And those are two things that you assessed Maddie on. So, what are the key messages you'll take home from today? Make sure the student knows how I'm assessing them and assess all elements completely. Two fantastic points. Is there any feedback you have for me about today's session or the whole educational program? No, I'm really enjoying how much I'm learning. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you for coming and being so involved today. Thank you. If there is anything that you think about later on and you want to tell me, please let me know. I'm more than happy for you to call me, email me, or just talk to me when you see me next. I really love hearing your feedback.